Hey guys, it's Stephanie.
I'm Trey.
This is your weekly dose of BS. We are back.
We are back.
There's so much that happened when we were out of town.
Oh.
And we recorded well in advance because I was in Montana for 15 days.
We both travel a lot, especially during the holidays.
Yeah.
We know that. So I hope you enjoyed our Lori episodes.
Yes. We had those booked. We had those done a little while ago. But yeah, I'm back. So much drama. I was stressed out when I was on my trip over other people's lives because I'm an empath and I feel like I'm Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni half the time.
Okay.
So
We can start there.
okay.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know. Now I don't even know because I feel like they both have kind of ruined the reputation. And this is a chance for them to get it back. I don't know. I mean, I think two things can be true at the same time,
I was going
right?
to say the same thing.
Like,
Yep.
I think that I don't know. I'm sure she felt a certain way. I don't know if he meant to make her feel this. You know what I'm saying? Like, two things can be true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not on either side right now until they have a court case and they like publicly show it to everybody and I can sit and watch it and tell you what I think. I truly don't even know. The text messages, I mean, again, like maybe she felt some way, maybe he thought it was a very different thing. Like there are times whenever, things have happened in life where you maybe read things differently than the other person does. So I have no idea. I just feel like I want everything to come out and then I'll give judgment. But regardless of what comes out, I think they both kind of made this movie into something they probably neither one wanted it to be, which is, I think it's not done well for either of their reputations.
No.
At all.
The thing is, Justin Baldoni's production company has rights to the sequel.
Yes.
So there won't be a sequel.
No, nor will there. Also, like, that thing charted on Netflix for like a day, and I think it's because of all this lawsuit stuff. I mean, it almost makes you not want to watch it. I mean, it's just like it just puts kind of a gross taste in your mouth.
Which really sucks for the author.
Yeah, I mean, and for the people that worked on for everybody involved.
Yeah.
It's just also I can put myself in everybody that worked on this film, especially the other actors. And I know they're choosing sides, but also I've been in a situation much smaller where, you feel like you have to, people like are kind of coming after you for not saying stuff. And you're like, oh shit, like, do I want to really get in the middle of this? Do I not? And I don't know. The only thing I will say is I don't understand. I had PR whenever we were doing Housewives for 3 of the years. And the reason I had PR is because Bravo also gives you PR, but they give you PR that you don't want, if I'm being honest. I just did not want Bravo to say who I was and to speak for me. I wanted to be my own person, and I wanted to have an outlet where the audience could get to know me for me, not for who Bravo says I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very glad I did because I feel like a lot of the stuff that Bravo got me, the PR that Bravo got me was kind of me putting in a position where I had to answer really tough questions about, like who's the most annoying, it's always about the other people and not about yourself. And I wanted to focus on me, not the other girls, because
Bronwyn went on Watch Happens Live recently. And it was an episode that was not great for her. And she was sitting there on the show. She was like, why am I on this episode? Like, this is the worst episode to have me on.
Yes.
That's the PR that Bravo gives you.
They do. I mean, and be honest, like
It's going to drive the reunion.
You will do a interview and they will take like something that isn't even bad and they will twist the headline to be like, horrible. So I think PR should be, and most of the time it is, so you have a voice in who you are and what you're doing. I don't necessarily know if I really agree with him making Blake Lively look bad PR-wise, because I honestly, to my core, believe that she did that to herself. Like it was like kind of self-induced, and I don't know if she gets it. Also, I don't know if she is willing to, like, I don't know if she can, like, sometimes the truth, you cannot.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't almost understand the truth.
Well, and people in the comments, they were like, he had nothing to do with the past interviews where she was rude to interviewers. He had nothing to do with the way that she's treated other people.
And the way she promoted the movie,
sets.
I felt like was very unsavory. I think she wanted it to be more, and I get it. Like, I can also put myself in her shoes and think, this is my moment to shine. I'm a lead actress. I'm really excited about this. Everyone, this is a big book, whatever. But
she doesn't do a lot of movies.
No, and she was mostly, I think she wanted like her Carrie Bradshaw or like that Barbie movie moment where it was all about her fashion, and because she really fell into that, but that's not really what the audience wanted, especially since like 1 of 3 women have been abused in their lifetime. I don't think it was the right way to go, but it was a choice that she made. And looking back, if she could go back, and I don't think she would do that, but like wear your florals, bring your bestie, come watch this movie. Like it wasn't a rom-com, and I think that they just did it in the wrong way, regardless if that's how Sony told them to do it, whatever. And I think Justin kind of honestly did it in the right way, where it was more about like the topic and the women who really deal with it and bringing awareness. So, but also I can look at, like, if you're wanting to ruin somebody with PR, like every time and I actually researched it, every time he talked about her, Blake Lively, it was so positive. Whether he felt that way in his core or not is one thing, but he never, ever, ever went on and did any interviews where he was nothing but like praising her, to where they would not even say his name. So it just made not only her, but the whole cast kind of look like mean people, because they went as far as to not say the person's name. It felt very like mean high school
and
drama.
This is what's kind of petty, is she didn't file a lawsuit. She filed a complaint.
Yes.
Which is basically just airing out your dirty laundry for the public to read.
Yes, with no discovery.
He filed a lawsuit against the New York Times.
Yeah.
And then she countersued him for emotional distress.
Which is great, because now but also like, that's another thing I don't understand. Like, for their first thing was a complaint about something pretty serious, right? Which is, you're saying, is it sexual harassment? I don't know.
That was a part of it, but he was also saying, I think him having a back injury and asking how much she weighs.
Yeah.
Isn't crazy?
No, I don't. That's the thing. Like, whenever you look at his stuff, but she was newly pregnant. I don't know. Maybe she was also like highly aware and emotional, and like that she wasn't.
Ego got involved very quickly. I do
think. Yes, I do think that.
I think that she, whenever she was approached for this, wanted creative control, and they said no, because they had probably already promised Justin that.
Mm-hmm.
But they told
he's
her,
the director, as they should.
But they told her, we want a lot of your input.
Yeah.
And then he did not want her input.
Yeah.
And that's where they clashed. She was under the impression that she could give more than what she would have normally given, and he was like, I don't need any of that. Thanks. This is my first big debut as a director. I'm going to take it. I think it's stupid on all ends, because I think they're going to both spend all of the money that they made.
I don't think
I don't think it's on his end. And I understand why he's suing the New York Times, because she will have a career.
Well, also like, I get why he's not suing her either, because like, it's just going to make him look like everything,
like it's about,
she can't say he's horrible to women and then him goes sue a woman. So I think he's suing the New York Times because he wants his everything out there. And for her to countersue just means that there's a lot of discovery, which is going to be made public. I just would never sue that. I mean, they have billions of dollars. Ryan Reynolds has over $1 billion. They could play this game all day long. But the guy that owns Wayfair is also a billionaire.
Wayfair.
That's his company. That's his production company.
Oh.
And trust me, they're the ones paying for it. So this is two very financially savvy people who are, who don't want to go down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't.
It's just like.
Did you see that thing? And it all kind of makes sense. Where now people are saying, and if you watch the scene, I do think there's something to it. They're saying that. Did you watch Deadpool versus Wolverine? So they're saying the character Nice Pool was kind of Ryan making fun of Baldoni, and if you watch those scenes, you can kind of see it, because the nice pull, like talks about like how good she looks just having a baby, like things that she was complaining about. Like he does it.
I like that.
I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, it just stressed me out. I'm interested to see what else comes out, but also, I mean, she could have like some crazy thing, but to me right now, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why she would pull the trigger if there wasn't something there, which is why I am waiting. Also, her and her husband were like my celebrity couple, and I just want to still believe that there's
I think the only loser here is going to be Justin.
No, I think
because if Blake loses, Blake still wins.
Yes,
Blake
because
still
there's such a power imbalance, right? So regardless, and that's I think why he has to go big and go 100% for it, is because like he is pretty much lost. What else does he have to lose? They have a lot to lose, but like what else does he have to lose? But I think her and her husband are so used to being like the darlings of the world, right? Like everybody loves them. They have these funny tweets. They're like so charming. And maybe it's all very rehearsed and put out there for the way they want to see it. And I get how that can really mess with you whenever you are like such a darling, cannot do wrong. Everybody loves you. You're like the perfect girl, perfect couple. Everybody wants to see what you're wearing. I mean, even this year, I was like, I don't even care about the Met Gala because Blake Lively wasn't there, because she's really the best dressed always. And I think she thought that that's what people wanted from her for this movie, because that's what they always want from her. But it really wasn't. I mean, nobody cared that she was wearing the Britney Spears dress, but maybe you.
I did.
But you're the only one.
No, I did. I very much cared. I still care.
No. But I mean, it just wasn't the movie for that. You know, like it wasn't the movie to focus on that. And also it wasn't the movie to like, I think she also focused on like her hair care, and like she put out some new products. But I don't know. It's interesting, but I don't necessarily agree with her part in the lawsuit where she said like he made her look bad. I think she kind of did that on her own without realizing she was doing it on her own.
Yeah. The only person I agree with on this is Ryan Reynolds and how he got involved. Do you see the whole thing about how Justin said that he like went to their New York penthouse and there were celebrities just walking in and out while Ryan was scolding him, and someone was like, yeah, no, I was there, and there weren't people just walking in and out of their house. And he wasn't yelling at him, but he was very stern in how he felt about the situation.
But who is this person that said, yeah, that didn't I don't know. You have to always say.
It was like someone on the production company.
But again, like people are going to choose. You never know. There are people that are going to choose and say things that like, I don't know. Again, I don't know any of it. I'm sure Ryan Reynolds is like, dang, because I think Ryan Reynolds has also taken a big hit. So I don't know. I mean, if something was really happening, yes, your husband should be involved. But if like he was scolding him over like figuring out how much she weighed so he can lift her up, I don't know. I don't even know if Ryan Reynolds knew everything.
No, I think he blindly defended, and that's
yes.
No,
it is, because I will say Travis does that with me, even though sometimes I know I'm wrong when he defends me.
Do you ever get in an argument with Travis? And then, like, 5 minutes into the argument, you're like, he's right. But you're too committed to the bit to quit now.
Oh,
so you just go until you wear him out.
And 2 minutes into the arguments, I'm like, he's right, but I am not backing down.
But yeah, you commit to the bit.
Yeah.
And you wait till you wear him down, and they apologize. And you're like, yeah, don't do it again. And then you leave, and you're like,
I'm like, well, yeah, I'm sorry, too. I always apologize with them, but I never really.
I'm sorry that you led me to be like that.
Now, sometimes, and Travis is not that person who's going to back down. Like, I am a person that backs down. He's really, like, he's not like, you know. So if he feels like he's wrong, he will admit to it. If I feel like I'm wrong, it'll take me a day. And then I'll go in and apologize. And I'm like, hey, I'm sorry that I made you feel that way.
I am just like Travis. If I understand where I did wrong, I can apologize to you. But I'm not going to apologize. I've had this situation recently. If I don't understand what I did wrong, if I'm not sorry, I'm not going to say I'm sorry.
No, I get that. But usually I know what I did wrong. I mean, and usually he does too. Usually there's not a fight for zero reason. One of you pisses the other off. Mm-hmm. And like, I feel like Travis pisses me off most, like if he's not feeling great. Because then he'll kind of be rude and I'm like, asshole, it's not my fault. That's whenever I think I really get annoyed. Like, if you're rude to me, God help you, Travis. Everybody, if you're rude to me, I'm like,
You know what, though? This is the difference, though. You and I are the same way, and Travis and Zach are the same way. We are just very naturally bubbly and energetic personalities, and they're not.
Yeah.
If you come at me wrong, asking what's for dinner with the wrong attitude, you just piss me off. Because why are you saying it like that? What did I do?
And if you complain about what's for dinner.
Yeah, when you offered no suggestions.
Yes, because and you never cook.
Never. You bring me one suggestion. Make a meal.
Yes, that's my thing. I'm like, listen.
I feel like we just won an argument.
There's a grill outside that you've never touched. I have to grill steak in the kitchen.
Yeah, you think I wasn't working all day too? Just sitting at home thinking about what's for dinner? No.
Yeah, we kind of were, Trey.
Well.
But we did this today, which is work. So, yeah, we've worked hard.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. New Year's.
Yeah.
You were telling me beforehand that you had something about New York and New Year's.
Trey's gone to New York for the second time ever, New Year's, which I'm going to be honest, would be my nightmare. But he says it's great because he has a balcony and he's with a company. And so I saw online that, like, it was like in a news thing that you kind of see probably earlier in the day, the gates open up and like everyone rushing to, I guess, the stage where people probably sing and perform and the whole thing, right? Like the whole. Anyway, do you know that once you are in that area, you cannot leave?
Yes.
So you know that people wear diapers.
Yes.
So they do not. That is so crazy to me.
So this is weird. So it was very different this year. Last year was a lot of fun. But I also remember feeling like unsafe. We have to stay in Times Square because of where our party is. You have to be like within the barricades. So they block off, if you're familiar with New York, they block off from 8th Street to 6th Street. And they block off, I think it's 40th to 57th. So it's a big space.
But it's like totally packed, right?
No.
Oh, so you could go pee. You just can't get like a really great space back. Or no, you can't.
You can, but there's nothing open within the barricades on New Year's Eve. So we are having to stay in Times Square within the barricades. So we can leave. It's a hassle. But if you don't leave, you feel like you're stranded on an island because nothing's open.
Do you have a bathroom where you are?
Yeah, we're at a hotel.
Okay,
I mean, like where we're going,
good.
there's a restroom. Yeah, but and there are some places open where people like can go to the bathroom because once you get in, it's basically like you're going through TSA to get in.
Yeah.
And they have last year they had trash trucks. This year they had these like they were specifically for this. They were these bright orange trucks that were filled with like boulders, so that. And there's like 3 of them. I posted a picture on my story. But basically so that no one can drive a car through and get to Times Square.
Yeah.
And there are probably 6 police officers for every person that they allow in Times Square. It's like they ain't playing.
Well, that's good. At least you're safe.
Last year they had 4 drone teams. This year they had 6. Last year they had like, I think it was 300 snipers. This year they had 500. So they ramped up security. So I had some people that were like, oh, I would not want to be in Times Square. And I'm like, oh, it's honestly the safest spot to be today. Like, where I wouldn't want to be is somewhere else, because if I were going to do something crazy, I would do it somewhere else because all resources are tied up in Times Square right now. So it's just, which did happen. I mean, not in New York, but. So it was weird this year because they didn't let people in until later on. So I left the barricades, and I had no problem leaving. I just walked through Times Square.
Wait, so you were in the mess with all the people?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I was in my hotel. I wasn't like, so they basically, whenever you pay to go stand in Times Square, it's like $100-something. You're donating essentially to the Times Square Alliance. And you're basically given like a corral. There's like these like squares all through Times Square that are like gated off, and you're assigned a corral. So you're really, there's maybe 50 people in your corral.
You run
it's
your
like
race.
Your tailgate. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It's just, So you can go to the bathroom if you can find somewhere that's open, and you can get back in because you have your pass, but like people make it all dramatic. But this year there were a lot less people, and they let them in a lot later. There was something going on when I was trying to get back to my hotel. We had to be at our hotel by 4 p.m. If you weren't at your hotel by 4 p.m., you weren't getting back till the next day. So I was trying to find my way back, and they wouldn't let me through because there was something where they brought out bomb squad. I know that. And they were like checking certain roads. So I had to go all the way up and around and back down. And I was annoyed by that point. And I had a milkshake that I got for Zach because I was trying to be nice.
Well, honestly, you
and
should be
warm.
so grateful that they're like you're that safe.
Well, yes, it was nice.
Yes.
But my milkshake that I was holding for Zach was starting to feel like just a pressed juice at that point.
And is it cold? Was it cold?
It wasn't crazy cold, but it didn't rain on those people. But there were a lot less people this year to where they were like moving them from like stage to stage.
Oh, interesting.
To make it look like it was fuller than it was.
Okay, like, that's interesting.
I probably have a picture somewhere on my phone of like right outside my view because we were in Times Square and like the stage that Ryan Seacrest was on for the ball drop was right in front of us. And there were maybe, I don't know, 100 people in front of us. Like it wasn't that many people.
Yeah, well, I would. That's just like something. I think a lot of people. That's a dream of theirs. Is like Times Square. It's just never been mine. But I also don't like big crowds of people.
Yeah,
like
and I mean the way
we
do it, we're like inside in an air conditioned space where it's not raining. It poured on those people,
and they just stay there like so happy.
Well,
but also I'm like maybe I'm just not as happy and amazing of a person as these people because they just are the happiest, freezing, pee in their pants people I've ever seen in my life.
I think you would like it the way that we did it. Like we had like a private escort like to the spot that we were going to.
Yeah.
And like there was food and drinks and then like we got to go outside for the ball drop. Like when they started doing the 1 minute countdown, we were able to go outside and Zach was very smart. The event spot where he was hosting this event, he had an NYPD table set up all day with like snacks and hot chocolate and coffee and da-da-da. So, you know, you want to make sure you take care of the police and then they'll let you outside for a minute to
that's nice.
Like, wee.
Yeah, they're like, here you go.
But New York as a whole was so packed. I have never seen more people there. You would have hated it.
You know, I just don't love big crowds of people, which is why I was so disappointed in our ski mountain. There were so many. I've never seen so many people there, and the reason I love skiing there is because there's nobody. Like it's always like super easy. I feel like we've talked about Whitefish too much. People are coming. We got
tell your friends not to go.
Yes, and also like a lot of like Dallas is coming, which really wasn't the case for a while.
That was the whole point y'all bought there. Because Aspen is full of Dallas people, and you're like, ugh.
I was like trying to stay away. I'm like, don't start coming. I mean, there are some great Dallas people. They're like, do you know what I like about Whitefish? The Dallas people that are in Whitefish are like the really like normal, casual, laid back, like cool people who are just easy peasy.
She's saying this in case they're listening.
No, I'm friends with. And they were there before. But I will say, like, it's just it's a different personality to choose Whitefish versus like Aspen, right? It really is. I think
I was talking to someone about. We were saying something about the flight into Kalispell. And they're like, oh, when I flew into Kalispell, I was like, how have you heard of Kalispell?
I'm telling you. It's like, it's people are coming. I mean, all the flights were booked, like super booked. And then, but more than anything, I have never, and I've been there a few times. I've never seen so many people on the ski mountain. Like we were able to get to eat in town to get reservations, but I think it's because we're, now kind of have a place there. But it was packed. There were a lot of people, but also we didn't leave the house. I mean, we had like a party at the house.
You had a lot of people come through.
Yeah, we had, I think there were like, with the kids, because we had people brought their kids. I think there were like 24 people total, which is honestly too much for our house. I mean, it's just too many people for our house with kids. I mean, I say adults, but kids just get, they get stir crazy. They get, annoying.
But you had like people like kind of cycling it. Isn't that kind of exhausting? I feel like we had similar trips where I feel like I was at an airport shuttle the whole time.
Well, and with our house, a lot of people park at our house because also the ski
What do you mean
mountain,
a lot of people park at your house?
Well, the ski mountain was so busy that Travis is that person that's like, you can park at our house, you can park at our house, you can park.
See, that's a big mistake.
And so everyone's kind of going out of the ski mountain on our house. And then I think that they feel like they have to like come in and say hi or whatever. So we had a lot of people who were parking there as well. Just a lot of people. So
like locals?
I don't like some, but then a lot of people from Texas were there. So I think Travis would run into them and they'd be like, "Oh, there's nowhere to park," and he's like, "Oh, park at our house," which is fine. But I mean, I don't know. But the ski mountain was crazy. Normally, nobody would have to park at our house because
did you see the Park Cities, the line to get at the ski lift?
No, I mean, it's probably 55 times worse than, I mean, I had to wait like 20 minutes, and that was more than I've ever wanted to wait.
I saw this last time on TikTok. They had an hour-long line to get up the ski lift where people were walking.
I've been to Park Stays before, and I've lived that. That's why I really liked where I live, because it's so.
You waited a 20-minute lift line?
Yeah, which I never have.
That's crazy.
I mean, usually maybe 2 minutes. I mean, there's never any. Also, the chair that we live off of chair 3. And it's usually because it's just like one, like a harder green, but one green run.
Green.
And honestly, I could do that all day. Like, I like that run. It's easy. If I want to take a break and go to the house, I can go to the take my skis off, walk up to the house, then walk back down and ski. But even that chairlift, which never has anybody, I mean, it's usually a pretty easy one. Like, until I would say that one gets busy like around 1 o'clock when like all this like new skiers come and try to make it down the green and to a harder green, right?
Me.
Like Trey. But that one was even pretty packed, and I kind of stayed at that one because the other ones were pretty full, and people on there were even telling me, like locals, like, yeah, we're on this chair because everything else is just, the lines are really long. So yeah, or maybe just people are traveling. Maybe every place was like that. But I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's coming to Montana for Christmas and New Year. This is nuts.
Oh. All right, we have so much more to discuss. We are going to need to do a part 2 to this episode this week because we still need to talk about the drones. We need to talk about Bethy Frankel. We need to talk about how I had this trip that I was planning a kidnapping for that got ruined.
Oh my gosh, yes, I want to talk about that.
We will circle back to all that. We need to do a part 2 to this episode that will drop this week.
Journey.
Oh, and our pro-lawn journey. We're getting our bodies hot for 2025.
Yes.
We're saying that again.
Yep. And thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Holman on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
You can follow me at Trey_Stewart. You can follow our podcast, the BS Podcast, and TikTok's going away soon, so you can follow us on YouTube at Weekly Dose of BS.
Bye.